By golly, it's amazing. It sounds like something you'd hear on the radio.
Presenting the transcription feature.
The Lucky Strike program starring Jack Benny with Mary Livingston, Phil Harris, Rochester Dennis Day, and yours truly, Don Wilson.
It's 8:30 New York time. Time to wake up, America, and stump the expert.
From Hollywood, it's time now for Johnny Dollar.
Kraft presents The Great Gildersleeve.
And now meet Dick Calmer as Boston Blackie.
It's the Phil Harris Alice Faye Show, presented transcribed by the makers of Rexall drug products.
And now it's time to meet the men from the ministry.
The Armed Forces Radio and Television Service presents the Bob Hope Show with Les Brown and his band of renown. And yours truly, Bill Goodwin. And now here he is, Bob Hope.
Greetings, I'm Kevin Lauderdale. Let's start with some Fibber McGee and Molly. Some notes, as usual. Did you have blonde furniture in your house growing up? These light-colored woods started to be more popular in the 1940s and then through the 70s. Do children still make May baskets? On May 1st, May Day, you would fill a small basket with flowers and leave it anonymously on someone's front porch or hanging on their front doorknob. J. Edgar Hoover was the director of the FBI forever, from March of 1935 to May of 1972, 37 years. Hence, he's referenced throughout the bulk of 20th century pop culture, including here. Sometimes listening to old-time radio, I encounter pieces of pop culture that I'd never heard of nor seen referenced anywhere else. That's the case here, where there's a bit about a short snorter bill. S-H-O-R-T, S-N-O-R-T-E-R, B-I-L-L. I had to look that up. A short snorter is a banknote, a bill, signed by people who have traveled together on a plane across an ocean. This dates back to the 1920s when air travel was a lot less common. This continued to be a thing through World War II, where carrying a short snorter was good luck. People who had made a trip together, maybe it was friends, more often it was members of the military, would take a piece of the local currency, it could be a US dollar or not, and all sign it, like a mini autograph album. There are a couple of famous short snorter bills. Averell Harriman made one on the way to the 1943 Allied Casablanca Conference. It has the signatures of 16 people, including General Patton, George Marshall of the Marshall Plan, President FDR, Winston Churchill, Louis Mountbatten, Viceroy and Governor General of India, and others. So there were autograph collections, but of people who had traveled together. The etymology is odd. A snort is a drink, a short snort is less than a full measure, so a short snort has less alcohol than usual. According to the coin and paper currency magazine The Numismatist, when the airline industry was developing, pilots soon realized it wasn't a good idea to drink and fly, so they referenced this by calling each other short snorters. This was such a well-known thing that there is a 1940s Coca-Cola magazine ad that shows a young serviceman showing his short snorter to two older men, one of whom is presumably about to produce one of his own from a wallet in his jacket, while a young woman arrives with a couple of Cokes. The ad copy reads, "Have a Coca-Cola equals welcome short snorter." When short snorters, trans-ocean flyers, meet and compare their autographed dollar bills, the invitation, "Have a Coke," is fairly sure to follow. In 3 short words, people strike the spark of comradeship. From the family fireside to far-flung fronts, Coca-Cola stands for the pause that refreshes. It has become a symbol of those who see things in a friendly light. Amazing. From April 15th, 1947, Fibber McGee and Molly, 1880 quarter.
The Johnson's Wax Program with Fibber McGee and Molly. The makers of Johnson's Wax Products for Home and Industry present Fibber McGee and Molly with Bill Thompson, Gail Gordon, Arthur Q. Bryan, Gene Carroll, and me, Harlow Wilcox. The script is by Don Quinn and Phil Leslie. Music by the King's Men and Billy Mills Orchestra. I've had quite a few questions lately about how to take care of the new blonde furniture that's so popular today. Well, I'd like to offer a word of advice. 4 words to be exact. Use Johnson's Cream Wax. Cream Wax is Johnson's newest wax polish, and it was specially designed for your furniture and white woodwork. This remarkable wax is creamy white, easy to use, needs very little rubbing, and it cleans as it polishes. Johnson's Cream Wax actually contains 2 cleansing ingredients, so the fingerprints and smudges disappear like magic. This isn't an exaggeration either, as you'll realize the very first time you try it. Cream Wax is perfect for all furniture, for your dining room table and sideboard, for kitchen tables and chairs, and all kinds of white kitchen equipment. Johnson's Cream Wax leaves a hard, smooth wax film for protection, gives a rich, lustrous, non-oily polish. You probably already use Johnson's paste and liquid wax. Well, now try Johnson's Cream Wax. You'll like it. When Mrs. McGee of 79 Wistful Vista looks out the window and sees her normally slow-moving husband running like a deer toward home, she naturally thinks, A, he's put a lighted cigar in his pants pocket again, B, she must be dreaming, or C, it must be somebody else. But no, it's himself, all right. And here he comes as we join Fibber McGee and Molly.
Hey, Molly. Hey, Molly, where are you? Hey, Molly.
I'm right here, dearie. Don't say another word till you get your breath. I haven't seen you run that fast since the bees took a fancy to your lilac hair tonic.
Yeah, but...
And now, take a few deep breaths. You're too old for those short pants. Now then, dearie, who's chasing you and for what? And do I tell the police you've been here all day?
Look, this is important. I gotta have my coin catalog. Quick, get me my coin catalog. I gotta have it.
All right. It's right there on the bookshelf.
Huh?
Between Tom Swift and his electric rifle and the National Geographic, August 1927.
Hand me to it quick. Thanks. Baby, I got a small fortune right here in my little fat hands. That's what I got, a small fortune in my little fat... Now, let me see.
You had an offer for your coin catalog? You only paid 30 cents for it.
No. I found a rare coin.
What other kind is there?
I knew that'd get him. This is an 1880 quarter. Must be worth... Now, let me see. 1880. Here we are. $10. Imagine that. This quarter's worth a fast sawbuck. Feast your beautiful blue peepers on that, Snooky. Your blue peepers.
What date did you say?
1880. Look at it.
Well, you must have been carrying it a long time. It now says 1916.
Huh? Let me see that. Oh, my gosh, this is the wrong coin. You know what I did? I bought 8 cigars at Kramer's drugstore and gave him the wrong quarter.
You mean he charges 25 cents for 8 of those smudge pots? I could make better cigars out of corn husks than old carpets.
That ain't the point. The point is I left my $10 quarter down there. Come on, get your hat. I got to go down there and get my quarter back.
Oh, no, you go on, dearie. I can't go. I have so much housework to do here that...
Now, you don't have to worry about the housework, Mrs. McGee, honey. I'll take care of everything. You know, I treat everything in this house just like it was my very own.
Yeah, I know you do, Lena. Yeah, that's some of my wife's Arpe's perfume you got on, isn't it?
It sure is, Mr. McGee.
Yeah.
You know, I was cleaning her dressing table and happened to spill a little dab right behind my ears.
That's all right, Lena. I hope you put the stopper back in the bottle.
Oh, I did, honey. I was very careful because you got the swellest smelling perfume of any place I ever worked. You know, Mama always told me that you can tell a lady by her perfume and a gentleman by the way he acts when he smells it.
Well, Mr. McGee's in a hurry to go, Lena, because he left a valuable coin down at Kramer's drugstore.
Well, now, you just go down there and get it, Mr. McGee. Goodness me, I know exactly how you feel, because I had an uncle once who collected coins.
Oh, that's a very interesting hobby, Lena.
It was strictly business with him, Mr. McGee. He was a bus driver. Such a handy fella he was. You know, he could open and shut the door, make change, blow the horn, shift gears, scratch his neck, and argue with the customers all at the same time.
I've seen them do it, Lena. I've always...
he gets so tired of it. He quit and got married, you know.
I don't blame him, Lena. If I was a bus driver...
Oh, you ought to see him now. Sitting on the front porch, rocking the baby, reading the paper, sprinkling the lawn, peeling potatoes, scratching his neck, and arguing with his wife all at the same time.
Well, if you're going down to Kramer's, McGee, you better get started because somebody might get that quarter.
Oh, you're so right, kiddo. Come on, well, let's go.
Oh, I don't think I should. The house...
Oh, honey, now you go right along. And while you're down at the drugstore, get Mr. McGee some new razor blades.
I got plenty of razor blades, Lena. I just bought a new package.
They're no good now, Mr. McGee. I used them all up splitting peas for the soup tonight. You know, it's quite a job with those frozen peas. Oh, zippity-doo-dah.
Oh, come on, kid. Let's get going.
I'm ready, McGee.
So you see, Kramer, when I bought those cigars, I gave you that 1880 quarter by mistake. You'll know it when you see it. A very shiny one.
McGee says it's worth...
It's worth a lot to me, Kramer. Sentimental value, you know. Graduation present.
You got a quarter as a graduation present?
It was a lot of money to him then. He was only 6.
You graduated when you were 6, McGee?
From kindergarten. Class president, too. Made the best May baskets of any kid in school. Come on, Kramer. Let's go through the cash register.
All right, McGee.
Boy.
That's all the change in the store, McGee. Take a look through those.
Well, thanks, boy. Nope. 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 Nope.
Billy Mills in the orchestra, and I Got a Girl in North and South Dakota.
Oh, here it is. Here's the... Oh, no, that's 1889. Nope. Dad rat. Nope. Nah, it isn't here.
Have you looked at everyone carefully, dearie?
I've been through the whole pile 3 times. I've looked at more uninteresting dates than an Arab on a diet. Hey, Kramer, you give that quarter to somebody in change, did you?
Well, I wouldn't be a bit surprised, McGee. This is a drugstore, not a piggy bank. Money comes in, money goes out. To me, a quarter is just a round, flat piece of metal worth about 4 cents after overhead and taxes.
Well, it hasn't been so very long since McGee was in here before, Mr. Kramer. Can you remember who got any quarters in change?
Yeah. Think, Kramer. Think. You're a college man.
Well, just 2 years.
How many customers have you given change to in the last half hour, Mr. Kramer? As the cannibals said when they caught the fat missionary, let's boil it down and see what we've got.
Well, let me see now. Ken Bartlett came in and he bought an ice bag, but he gave me a check. Mr. Wimple bought a Rocket Man comic book, but that was only 10 cents. So, wait a minute. Well, he got $5 changed into quarters. That must be where it went, Mr. Wimple.
Heavenly days, Mr. Wimple.
What'd he want $5 in quarters for, Kramer?
Well, I don't like to gossip, Mr. McGee, but I think he was going to play the slot machine in the back of Joe's barbershop.
I thought slot machines were illegal in Wistful Vista.
They are. At least a police lieutenant told me they were.
Where'd you see him?
He was playing the slot machine in the back of Joe's.
Well, how long ago did Mr. Wimple leave, Mr. Kramer?
Well, he left just before you came in. He was walking, so possibly you can catch up with him.
Well, I'll say we can. Much obliged, Kramer. Come on, Molly.
There's a taxi cab, dearie.
Swell. Get in, kiddo. Hey, driver. Follow that man.
Right. Hey, Mac.
Yes?
What man?
What? Oh, just go to Joe's barbershop, driver.
Okay, babe.
And don't be afraid to go through the red lights, bud. I got influence.
Mac, I wouldn't push this heap over 30 miles an hour if you was J. Edgar Hoover. My tires is strictly pre-war bubble gum. And I got 3 cylinders which their mothers ain't heard from them since 1937. And furthermore...
Oh, McGee, there's Mr. Wimple crossing the street. Stop, driver. Stop the car.
Ooh, he's going to get them brakes fixed. Hey, Wimp, wait a minute. I want to talk to you. How much, driver?
35 cents, Mac. There's no cover charge on account of the top leaks a little.
Here, driver. Here's 50 cents. Keep the change.
Lady, you're a gentleman.
Success within my grasp. Hi, Wimp.
Hello, Mr. Wimple.
Hello, folks.
Hey, Wimp, Kramer says he gave you $5 in quarters.
Yes, he did, Mr. McGee.
Let me see them, will you? I got reason to believe my lucky pocket piece is in there with him. An 1880 quarter.
Oh, isn't that too bad?
What?
What do you mean, too bad?
Well, I put all those quarters in the slot machine, Mr. McGee. The whole $5 worth.
Oh, my God.
Now, wasn't that a little foolish, Mr. Wimple? You know you can't beat those slot machines. What do you get out of it?
Well, I was doing it for Sweetie Face. That's my big old wife.
Playing the slot machine for Sweetie Face?
Well, I am in a way. Feel my right arm, Mr. McGee.
Huh? Oh, my gosh, Wimp. You got muscles like a handful of steel cables.
You would, too, if you'd yank that slot machine handle down as often as I have, Mr. McGee. It's been expensive exercise, but I'm almost ready.
Almost ready for what, Mr. Wimple?
I'm almost ready for Sweetie Face to start picking on me again.
Uh-oh.
A week ago Sunday, she said, Wallace, you know what day this is? And I said, yes, dear, it's Easter. And she said, yes, and here's a little present for you.
Oh.
And then she gave me such a rabbit punch I couldn't eat anything but carrots all day long.
Look, Wimp, that's all very interesting, but what about my 1880 quarter? You mean I got to go hang around Joe's barbershop and wait till somebody hits the jackpot?
Oh, somebody already did, Mr. McGee.
What?
They did?
Yes. After I put my $5 in, somebody came along with 1 quarter and hit the jackpot. My, was he lucky.
Well, gee whiz, why didn't you say so?
I did.
Who was it?
Harlow Wilcox. He said that he was... Oh, my goodness, look at those 2 go. I wish I could drag my wife around like that.
So when Mr. Wimple told us you would hit the jackpot on the slot machine, Mr. Wilcox. We came right over to see you.
Dump those quarters out on the desk here, Junior, and I'll pick out my 1880 quarter.
Pal, look, I've got bad news for you.
Oh, please, Mr. Wilcox, you didn't spend it.
You didn't give it away.
You didn't do any...
No. Let me explain. Here, sit down, Molly. You too, pal.
Oh.
Now, look, you see this folder? It tells all about Johnson's Car New, the most popular car polish in America.
Yes, it's very pretty,
The quarter, Junior, my 1880 quarter. You said
No. Don't rush me. Look at that folder. You see where it tells about how Car New is a liquid car polish that you just apply and let dry to a white powder? And when you wipe it off, it takes the dirt and dust and road grime with it.
But what that got to do with my
Well,
quarter?
I was showing this folder to some people in Joe's barber shop, you see. I explained that Car New, spelled C-A-R-N-U, is the easiest known method of cleaning and polishing a car. How it gives your car that showroom shine, that pre-war glitter, that mirror-like beauty.
Yes, but
Just then, I saw Wallace Wimple walking away from the slot machine. I dropped a quarter in it myself, and bingo, the jackpot.
My quarter, Waxy. Doggone it, give me my quarter.
Well, sir, the jackpot was $31.25, all in quarters. Naturally, I didn't want to carry all that silver around, so Joe gave me folding money for it. I put the money in an envelope and mailed it to the Society for Crippled Children.
You mean,
You haven't got any of them quarters?
Nope.
Well, I guess that's that then. I haven't had such a letdown since my suspenders busted at the junior prom.
Now, wait a minute, McGee. You say there was $31.25 in the jackpot, Mr. Wilcox.
Yep.
That extra quarter now, did you mail that to the...
Say, I forgot that. There was one shiny quarter left over. And by George, I think it was 1880.
Well, where is it? Don't just do there and talk. Stand something.
Well, now, wait a minute. What did I do with that quarter? Oh, I know. I gave it to Doc Gamble. Bought a trout fly from him.
Come on, Molly. Let's go see Doc. Thanks, Waxy. I'd like to see the doctor, nurse. How long is he going to be busy?
I couldn't say, Mr. McGee. He has a full schedule of appointments. I've told him you were waiting. However, I must say
Take the medicine as prescribed, Miss Francis Creep. And no matter what it says in magazine articles, don't eat any more dried grass. Come in again Friday. Now, who's next, Miss Dilverprink?
Hey, can I see you a minute, Doc, old man? It's a very important matter.
Not if there's something more urgent. Is there, Miss Dilverprink?
I don't believe so, Doctor.
All right, come on in, McGee. Oh, hello there, Molly. Nice to see you. You come in, too.
Well, thank you, Doctor.
Take the leather chair, Molly. It's the only one that isn't patient-sprung. You sit any way you like, McGee. Nature gave you cushions. Now then, what's on your mind?
Wilcox says you sold him a trout fly for 2 bits, Doc.
Yes, and it's capital gain, too. Medicine's my real business.
Well, he's not interested in your income, Doctor, but he has reason to believe that quarter is one he's been looking for.
Yeah, you see, I gave it to Kramer by mistake for some cigars.
Those cigars you buy are a mistake in the first place. Those aren't exported from Cuba. They're exiled.
But about this quarter, Doctor, we believe that we
excuse me. Hello, Gamble speaking. Who? Oh, yes, Mrs. Clatterhatch.
Her again.
What's that, Mrs. Clatterhatch? Willie swallowed a cigarette lighter.
Oh.
Does he seem to be comfortable? Well, then don't worry about it, and I'll be over as soon as I can. But what are you doing in the meantime? Oh, that's right. Goodbye, Mrs. Clatterhatch.
What is she doing in the meantime?
Using matches. Now then, what about this quarter, McGee?
I want it. What did you do with it?
Well, on the way back to my office, I met Mail at Trivia.
Yeah?
I bet him a quarter I'd been out with Fifi Tremaine more times than he had last month. And I lost.
Then the mayor has it now?
No, I don't think so.
Dad, Reddit, Doc, quit torturing me, will you? I gotta have that quarter. What did La Trivia do with it?
Well, he was on his way to buy some cigarettes when I left him.
And where does he usually buy his cigarettes, Doctor?
At Kramer's drugstore.
Oh, this is preposterous.
The King's Men, and I tipped my hat and slowly rode away.
Had me 2 trusty pistols, had me 2 leather holsters hanging by my side. Had a 2-gated pony till the day matrimony took my bridle and gave me a bride. I was riding down the trail to Santa Fe said, ain't we met before?
Then she drew her 44.
So I tipped my hat and slowly rode away. I went riding down the trail to Santa Fe when I met another gal along the way. I said, baby, you're a dream.
She said, touch me and I'll scream.
So I tipped my hat and slowly rode away. Cause there wasn't no excuse for me to stay. Tip my hat.
That was that.
Yes, I left that kitten sitting where she sat. I continued down the trail to Santa Fe when I met another gal along the way. I said, are you taken too?
She said, partner, I'll take you.
So I tipped my hat and settled down to stay. Settle down. How I cursed the day I ever came to town. What a life.
Oh, what a life.
Ever since the day I took myself a wife. If you ever ride the trail to Santa Fe and you meet a pretty gal along the way, better stop and think of me.
I was happy, I was free.
When I tipped my hat and slowly rode away.
My, it's good to be home again, isn't it, dearie?
You said it. It was a tough chase, kiddo, but brains and perseverance finally won out.
Lady Luck smeared a little lipstick on you, too.
Yeah, I was kind of lucky at that. Look at this quarter, Snooky. 1880. Worth a cool $10.
Yeah. Well, now that you got your quarter again, what are you going to do with it?
You want to look up a coin dealer tomorrow and sell it. I'll find one with an honest reputation and buy George.
That's probably an honest coin dealer now.
What?
What's one more coincidence in a day like this?
Come in.
Oh, Mayor Latrivia, do come in, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you.
Hi, Latrib.
Hello, McGee. I hear you've been having quite a fancy time tracking down an 1880 quarter.
He certainly has, Your Honor. It was strictly e pluribus unum, to phrase a coin.
We were running around town like a couple of dumb beagles after a wise rabbit. Oh, well, but I got it. I finally got it. You see it? An 1880 two-bit piece worth $10. Gave Kramer a 1916 quarter for it, and he never knew the difference.
I didn't know you were a numismatist, McGee.
Huh?
Oh, now. Now, let's not get into any religious discussions, Mr. Mayor.
I didn't say anything about Never mind. You know, McGee, I had a similar experience to yours one time. When I was in the Coast Guard in the South Pacific, I had a short snorter bill signed by MacArthur and Eisenhower, and I missed it one day.
Oh.
That started a wild goose chase that lasted
A wild goose chase? Heavenly days. That must have been difficult. Did you chase it in an airplane or something?
Chase what?
The wild goose. I knew a guy that lost a diamond stick pin when a crow flew down and picked it out of his necktie once. But a goose stealing money is something I never expected with a bill like that.
A wild goose had nothing to do with it.
How far did you chase it before you found that out, Mr. Mayor?
I didn't find it out. I mean, it was not an actual goose chase. I merely used wild goose chase as a metaphor.
I learned to signal by metaphor in the Army, Latrib. Had a little trouble with G and W.
No, that was semaphore, McGee.
Oh, no, it wasn't, kiddo. A semaphore is a kind of a Russian coffee pot.
That's a samovar, McGee.
Don't kid me, boy. I know what a samovar is. It's a code word in the Air Force. Like when they say samovar aircraft are missing.
Well, in any case, dear, your metaphor is just a literary comparison.
Well, so what's so literary about a wild goose? I suppose he's going to try and tell us it read the names on that short snorter bill, or...
I didn't claim any such thing, McGee.
Well, you...
In the first case, I mean, in the first place, there wasn't any Wild Bill.
But you said...
I mean, the bill I lost was not... When I said a child goose paste...
What? Oh, now. Now. Take it easy, Your Honor. It's just a friendly conversation.
Relax, boy. Shucks, you fly off the handle like a $2 fishing reel. Now, why don't you try that again and don't drag your feet?
Very well. I started to say that I had a short snorter bill in the South Pacific that was signed by several famous military men.
Yeah?
It was very valuable to me.
Yes, and then a wild goose swooped down and swiped it. Isn't that fascinating?
A wild goose did not swipe down and swoop it.
Huh?
Snoop it.
What?
I said that the snort geezer, the short snapper, this bill I had in the South Pacific, when I said a short snorter gapper, snapped the short garter, caught her in the goose Pacific. It was in the... I didn't say anything. You were the... McGee?
Yes?
I used to collect coins myself.
Did you really, Mr. Mayor?
Yes. Did you say, McGee, that you gave Kramer a 1916 quarter for that 1880 quarter?
Sure, why?
That's what I thought you said.
Huh?
If you'll excuse me, I must go downtown. I have some good news for Mr. Kramer. Good day.
What did he mean he had some good news for Mr. Kramer?
Oh, he was just... Hey, wait a minute. Hand me that coin catalog again.
Here.
1912, 1914, 1915, 1916. Here it is. Oh, my gosh, look. Look what it says. 1916 quarter, $60.
What?
Oh, quick, we got to go to Kramer's. He'll be going to the bank.
Here's your hat, dearie. This time you go alone.
No.
Every now and then, I hear of some homemaker who still takes care of her kitchen linoleum the hard way. Yes, actually scrubs it to keep it clean. What have I got against scrubbing? Well, it's plain hard work, for one thing, and it's hard on linoleum. In time, it breaks linoleum down and makes it look ugly. What a different story when you use Johnson's self-polishing glow coat. Then your linoleum not only has a smooth, bright shine at all times, it keeps its youth and beauty many years longer. You see, glow coat gives your floors a hard wax finish. This wax shield protects the surface, keeps dirt and moisture away from the actual linoleum. Constant harmful scrubbing is unnecessary because dirt and spilled things wipe right up with just a damp cloth. Why don't you try this easy glow coat method of keeping your floors always looking nice? Johnson's glow coat is so easy to apply, there's no rubbing or buffing because it shines as it dries. Ask your dealer for Johnson's self-polishing glow coat, the floor finish with the brighter shine.
And did you catch Mr. Kramer before he went to the bank, McGee?
Yep.
You don't seem very happy about it.
Nope.
Did he know a 1916 quarter is worth $60?
Yep.
Oh.
Good night.
Good night, all.
This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the makers of Johnson's Wax Products for Home and Industry, inviting you to be with us again next Tuesday night. Good night.
NBC, the national broadcasting company.
Hard to believe, considering that he's in the opening montage, but this is the first time I'll be presenting an episode of Boston Blackie. Boston Blackie was created in 1914 by writer Jack Boyle. Originally, he was an anti-hero, safecracker, and jewel thief. He appeared in 23 short stories between 1914 and 1920. There were also 25 films with various actors, including Lionel Barrymore playing Blackie, released between 1918 and 1949. The first 11 of these were silent. That's how far back this character goes. In the films and on radio, Blackie was sort of a detective. Not formally, of course. He's not a cop. He's not a PI. He's, well, as the intro says, an enemy to those who make him an enemy, a friend to those who have no friend. He's a reformed safecracker and jewel thief. But as such, the police are always looking to pin something on him. He's a righter of wrongs. The movies were all 60 to 75-minute B-movies, programmers for double features. But they were a big enough hit that in 1944 NBC Radio decided to make Boston Blackie a summer replacement show for Amos and Andy. Blackie was played by the star of the film series, Chester Morris. And as sometimes happens, that did well enough for a show to come back formally as a real show, not just a summer experiment. But this time it came back in a syndicated format, produced by Frederick Ziv and starring Richard Colmer. This was one of those syndicated shows that jumped around from network to network, including Mutual, now gone, and NBC's Blue Network. NBC originally owned two networks, named the Red and the Blue, but due to antitrust laws, eventually Blue was sold off, and it became ABC. Anyway, this syndicated incarnation of Boston Blackie ran from April of 1945 to October of 1950. 200-plus episodes, and it's that run I'll be pulling from. Starting in 1951, there was also a syndicated TV show, The Adventures of Boston Blackie. Believe me, Boston Blackie was everywhere. So, from April 29th, 1947, Boston Blackie, baseball, and gambling.
Maybe you love me, maybe you think of me, maybe I like it, but I don't really like it. Come in. Oh, hello, Jimmy. Come on in, come in.
You wanted to see me, Mr. Carter?
I sure did.
Well, if it's about the $50,000 I owe you, I don't have it.
Oh, well, in that case, Jimmy, maybe you shouldn't be allowed at the roulette tables again till you've paid up, huh?
Oh, but Mr. Carter, you can't do that to me. My luck will change. Oh, give me a chance, will you?
A chance? Oh, come now, Jimmy. You're into me for $50,000. But, I'll tell you what I will do.
What?
Your brother Sammy is one of the best baseball players in the league, right?
Well, sure, but what's he got to do with this? Look, I don't want him to know, you understand? I don't want him to know I've been gambling.
Oh, he won't. He won't, Jimmy. Now, if you introduce your brother to a certain young lady, I'll forget that you owe me a dime. How's that?
Just to introduce my brother to a girl, and you'll tear up my IOUs for that?
Yeah.
Gee, I don't get it.
You don't have to. But I don't get my $50,000 either. What do you say?
Golly, Mr. Carter, I don't know what this is all about.
But you'll do it, huh? That's being a good boy, Jimmy. That's being a smart boy, too. Yeah, maybe the smartest you've ever been.
And now on to Dick Calmer as Boston Blackie. Enemy to those who make him an enemy. Friend to those who have no friend.
Come in.
Hello, Joe.
Oh. Hello, Carter.
Maybe you're surprised to see me, huh?
Oh, no, I'm glad to see you, Carter. I thought you were sore at me.
Maybe I forgot what I was sore about.
That's good. I hoped you would.
Sure, Joe. I don't hold a grudge. Guys got a right to make a mistake once in a while. Of course, you overdid it, but... What are you doing, writing a letter?
Well, I was...
That's pretty typing. Nice and clear.
Yeah, I'm using a brand new ribbon. I just put it in.
Maybe you're going to write a long letter, huh? Too bad you'll never finish it.
Oh, wait a minute.
Yeah. Maybe Joe wouldn't want to be caught dead with this paper and his typewriter. And maybe he won't mind if I use his phone. Yeah. Maybe I'll hold you just as I told you. Maybe you'll like it, but why is it maybe he's the most...
Hello?
Oh, Mike, this is Carter. Has Jimmy arranged for his brother to meet that girl?
I'm going to make you very happy, boss. It's all set.
Maybe we're in business again then, Mike. I've taken care of everything here, too. But guess what Joe was doing when I walked in?
I'm not good at guessing, boss.
He must have known he was in a jam. He was typing a letter to Boston Blackie.
To Blackie, huh?
To Blackie, I've taken the paper out of the typewriter, and I'm going to burn it. Oh, by the way, maybe I was with you for the past 2 hours, Mike.
Huh?
You see, somebody just killed Joe Ash, and I don't want to be blamed for killing him. Just because I did.
You should have seen Inspector Faraday's face when I walked into his office, Mary.
Oh, now, Blackie, why do you tease the inspector? You know you like him.
Sure I do. And I like working on his police cases, but I can't help needling him. Honestly, I can't. He practically asks for it just because he's on a case and he hasn't asked for me.
Oh, now, Blackie, if that's Inspector Faraday at the door, I don't want you to tease him.
Well, I'll try not to. Come in.
Well, Boston Blackie?
Yes, come in.
Blackie, I'm Jimmy Saunders. You don't know me, but you heard of my brother, Sammy Saunders?
Slamming Sammy Saunders, the rookie baseball sensation?
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you bring your brother along? I'd like to meet him. Oh, excuse me. This is Miss Wesley, Mr. Saunders.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Saunders?
I do.
Well, what's on your mind, Jimmy?
Well, Blackie, I'm in a jam. You know Rolly Carter, the gambler?
What about him?
Well, I owed him $50,000, but he canceled a debt because of a favor I did him.
You can do someone a $50,000 favor? You're in a bigger league than your brother.
Blackie, all I did for Carter was introduce my brother to a girl named Catherine Gray. And now I'm sure I did something wrong.
You sure did, Jimmy. Carter's probably working on your brother to keep his eyes on Catherine Gray and off the ball.
You mean throw games?
That's right. But I'll put a stop to that. Your brother will really start swinging his bat around when I start throwing my weight around.
Well, hello, Harry. You going 2 for 4 again today, Harry?
2 for 4, Sam? It's nothing to you. You don't go 4 for 5, you think you ought to be benched. Oh, hey, I almost forgot there's a man outside the locker room who wants to see you.
Somebody to see me? Well, now, what's somebody want to see me about?
I wouldn't know, son.
Well, I'll find out.
Yeah, you do that. Guy probably wants your autograph.
Gosh, I hope so. Well, hello. Do you want to see me?
Yes, Sammy, I sure did. I'm Boston Blackie.
Boston Blackie? Well, this sure is a mighty great pleasure. I sure have admired you, Mr. Blackie.
Thanks. But, look, you're heading for trouble, Sammy. Yesterday you met a girl named Catherine Gray, didn't you?
I sure did. And she sure is good to look at. She can cook, too.
Sammy, listen. That girl is being hired by Rolly Carter, a gambler, to talk you into throwing games.
Oh, now, wait a minute. That's a lie. And you say anything else like that about Miss
Sammy,
Gray.
wait a minute. Use those hands of yours to swing a bat, not to swing punches.
Well, nobody's saying anything against Miss Gray. And nobody's saying I'll throw any ball games. Because I ain't throwing a ball game for anybody. And you're lucky I don't throw you right out that door.
It's low and on the inside for a count of 2-2. It's the last of the ninth inning with the score tied at 2-all. In fact, this entire game is at 2s for the moment.
Hello, Mary.
Oh.
I finally made it. How's the game going?
Oh, I don't know. It's tied or something. And your friend Bill Slater's talking about 9-something.
Well, Slater means the ninth inning, Mary. Tied, are they? Well, let's see what happens now.
What do you expect to happen?
I expect Saunders to throw the game if he gets the chance.
Jones rounds first.
Hey.
Now here comes the throw in from left. It's a
Hey, did you
beautiful throw, but Jones
hear what
pulls
Slater
up
said?
standing up with
It's the last half of the ninth, and Jones is on second base with a winning run.
Is that good?
It's perfect. Saunders comes to bat now, and let's listen.
Yes, it's the last half of the ninth, and the score is tied at 2-all. New York has the winning run on second base with 2 out, and slammin' Sammy Saunders is coming to bat.
Blackie, is this where Saunders can throw the game?
There's a wonderful opportunity for him not to win
Now, a
it.
hit here means the ball game for New York, and Saunders is overdue.
Cross your fingers, Mary.
All right, but I wish I knew what for.
Yes, a hit now, and it's all over. Now, here comes the pitch. and it's a long drive to left. It's going. It's up against the wall.
Well,
that's it, folks. Saunders smashed to left to sent Jones across the plate with the winning run, and the ball game is over.
Oh, that's that. Mind if I turn the radio off?
No, go right ahead.
Yes, it's New York by a score of 3-2, thanks to that.
Well, Blackie, he didn't throw the game.
No, he won it, Mary, and that's bad.
I thought you didn't want him to throw it.
I didn't. That would have been bad for the game, but because he got that hit, it's going to be bad for him.
Oh.
Carter will kill him for that double cross. Unless
what?
Unless I don't know what this is all about. Maybe I don't. Maybe I am wrong about... Come in.
So the homebudy's home.
And nobody's come to see him. I'm in Faraday, but you're getting out.
Sure. When I'm ready to leave.
Oh, now, Blackie, you promised you'd be nice to Inspector Faraday.
What? And spoil a beautiful friendship?
What friendship? Blackie, do you know a guy named Joe Ash?
No, I don't know him. I don't feel a bit badly about it. Why?
Well, he knew you. He was starting to write something, but your name was all he wrote. If you didn't know him, why did you kill him, Blackie?
Well, what makes you think I killed him?
Your name on that typewriter ribbon. He was typing the name of his killer. Of course, you were smart enough to destroy the paper Joe Ash was writing on, but you forgot about the ribbon. Only I was smart enough to think to look at the ribbon and read what was on it.
Don't you think I might have been smart enough to think of the ribbon, too, if I saw what he was writing?
All right. You didn't kill him. But even if your name was on that ribbon, I don't want you on this case. Now, don't leave your apartment, see? Did you hear what I said? Don't leave.
Well, Mary, you heard what Faraday said, didn't you?
Yeah. He said don't leave. Hey, Blackie, where are you going?
Me? Oh, I'm leaving.
Oh, Sammy, you're a darling to help me with the dishes.
Oh, I'll do the chores all by myself if you'll let me, Miss Gray, honey. Oh, that was a mighty fine meal you cooked, especially that cake.
Oh.
Sure will miss you when we go on the road after tomorrow's game.
Well, I'll miss you, Sammy. Where's the team going first?
St. Louis? I like it in St. Louis. I get home runs there.
Well, I hope you get lots of them, darling. Would you do me a favor?
I'm mighty glad to do anything for you, Miss Gray.
Well, I have a friend in St. Louis. She used to live with me and loved my cakes. Would you bring one to her?
Why, sure, mighty glad to. Just bring it down to the ballpark tomorrow.
Oh, I certainly will, and thanks. Well, all the dishes are done, thanks to your help, Sammy.
Mighty nice of you to let me help you, Miss Gray, honey. Well, now we got lots of time to sit and talk, ain't we?
It's getting rather late, Sam, and there's an important game tomorrow.
Yeah, I reckon you're right. I'll just go out the back way here. It's closer to the bus. Night, Miss Gray.
Good night, Sammy, and thanks for helping me.
Thanks for letting me. Sure was a pleasure. Night.
Maybe you love me. Maybe you think of me. Maybe I like it, but I don't mean maybe. He's gone, honey. Or should I call you Mr. Carter when we're talking business?
Maybe you should. Everything worked out all right, huh, baby?
Oh, we have him just where we want him, honey. He'll never know what it's all about.
Maybe nobody else will ever know either. Everything's wonderful, isn't it?
Oh, certainly is.
Yeah. Joe can't double-cross us because he's dead. And Boston Blackie's going to take the rap for his murder. And best of all...
I know, sweetheart. Our hopeless hitter of home runs.
Yeah. Best of all, Sammy Saunders is up to his batting eye in a racket. And he doesn't have any idea what it's all about.
And now back to Boston Blackie. Jimmy Saunders loses $50,000 at roulette. Ruly Carter, owner of the gambling house, cancels Jimmy's debts when Jimmy introduces his ball-playing brother, Sammy, to a beautiful girl named Catherine Gray. Blackie suspects that Sammy is being railroaded into throwing ball games. But even after meeting the girl, Sammy continues to hit. Meanwhile, a man named Joe Ash is murdered by Carter. And the evidence indicates Boston Blackie might be the killer. Inspector Faraday, however, is convinced of Blackie's innocence. And as we return to our story, Blackie pays a visit to Rudy Carter's gambling den.
I'm thinking you're not smart, Jimmy. I'm telling you. You know you can't beat the roulette wheel.
I can if I get lucky, Mike. That's why I came down here at noon before anybody else got here. Maybe alone I can do something for myself.
You're betting against the house, kid. I'm telling you, the house always wins.
Oh, I'll get a win.
Stop that
Don't
wheel,
worry.
Jimmy. Stop it.
Hello, Blackie.
I'm familiar with the face, but I haven't seen it in here before. What do you want, Blackie?
Two very simple things, Mike. First of all, I want to see Rudy Carter.
He's not here.
Oh. Well, then, I'll at least get the second thing I came for. Something that occurred to me as I stood in the doorway and watched Jimmy play the wheel here. And your right foot go to work.
What do you mean, my right foot go to work?
Simply that this wheel is crooked. You can control the number you want the ball to stop at.
What?
No, it's an old gimmick, Mike.
Why, they've been cheating me.
They certainly haven't been giving you a fair shake. Look, Jimmy. See that little ball that goes around?
Uh-huh.
There's a metal...
Stop wising up the sucker, Blackie. Nobody's going to love you for that.
I'm so worried. Jimmy, listen.
Yeah?
There's a magnet in this table. When Mike touches a button with his foot, the magnet attracts the ball and falls into a space nowhere near the number you're betting on. Want me to show you?
Yeah.
Here, bend down with me.
Blackie, I told you nobody's going to love you, and I wasn't kidding. I'm going to mess you up for this, Blackie.
You mean you're going to try it? Sucker.
Blackie, maybe we just made some trouble for ourselves.
Well, that wasn't trouble, Jimmy. That was fun.
Hey, what's going on?
Oh.
Blackie,
Hello, Carter. I was told you weren't in.
what brings you down here, Blackie?
A little workout, that's all. I think your stooge, Mike, is a little under the weather. And the table.
What's the real reason, Blackie?
I'll tell you. Joe Ash is dead. You knew him, didn't you?
Yeah, just hang around, I think.
That's one of the things he did. Everybody knows he also fenced stolen jewelry.
I wouldn't know about that.
I suppose you're going to tell me you didn't even know him.
Maybe I've met him.
Maybe you had a little run-in with him, too. That's why I came down here. I thought you'd be happy to know he's out of circulation.
Maybe I am. And maybe I don't like guys coming into my place without an invitation. And maybe you know what this is in my hand, Blackie.
Yes, it's a gun, and maybe you know what's on my mind, Carter.
I don't know and I don't care. So suppose you get out of here and stay out. And when I say stay out, that's one time I don't mean maybe.
Hello?
Hello, Mary.
Oh, hello, Blackie. Hey, I've been waiting for your call.
For how long?
Well, I'm 23 years old.
And 23 is cute. Mary, I found out something, and I want to find out a little more from a certain Miss Catherine Gray.
Hey, Blackie, you stay away from her. I understand she's beautiful.
Possibly, but Mary, Carter is using Sammy Saunders in some kind of a racket, and I've got to find out what it is.
Well, if you're going to find out from Catherine Gray, I'm going with you.
Oh, no, you're not. One beautiful girl at a time is all I can stand. Goodbye.
Now will you beat it, Blackie? I got introduced to Sammy Saunders because I wanted to meet him. Now, that's all.
I'm sorry, I can't believe that's all, Miss Gray. What's cooking? And I don't mean what's up.
I'm baking a cake.
Oh, the domestic side. You don't look it.
The complaint department is closed. Goodbye, Blackie.
I'll say goodbye if you'll be a good girl and tell me why Carter wanted Sammy Saunders to meet you.
Oh, company. I hope it's who I think it is. Maybe he'll shut you up. Come in.
Well, howdy, Miss Gray. Oh, it's you again, huh?
Yes, me again.
Sammy, throw this guy out of here.
Yes, I sure will, Miss Gray. This fella tried to say I'd throw a baseball game. Well, I'll
Take
show
it
him.
easy, Sammy. Take it easy. I admit I was wrong about that. That hit you got yesterday won the ball game.
Yes, it sure did. Well, Miss Gray, you ready to go on down to the ballpark with me?
I would have been ready before, but this guy kept bothering me.
Oh, bothering Miss Gray, huh? Well, Blackie, I'm going to be mighty nice to you and just warn you this time. But next time, I'm sure going to let you have it.
Sammy, I still think that you're making...
Before I go, I might knock the cover off you, Blackie. Yes, sir. Now, Miss Gray, you got that cake ready for me to take to St. Louis with me tomorrow?
Uh-huh. It'll be ready in just a few minutes. Oh, you've decided to leave, have you, Blackie? So soon?
I've heard all I wanted to hear, Miss Gray, and that's all I wanted to know. Hi, Bill. Busy?
Blackie, well, hello there. No, I'm not busy. Just waiting for the lineups. Come on in, fella. Glad to see you.
Thanks, Bill. Just dropped in to say hello.
You want to sit up here in the booth with me when the game starts, Blackie? You can watch me broadcast the play-by-play, and I might even put you on the air between innings.
Today's baseball by Bill Slater and Boston Blackie?
Good.
No, thanks, Bill. You're on your own. Who's going to win today?
Who's Slammin' Sammy playing for?
I see what you mean. Bill, do you know a guy named Ruley Carter?
Well, just well enough to hate him by his first name. Why?
I imagine he comes out here to the game every day. Know where he sits?
Sure. He's got a box of his own. Straight down the line there toward home plate from this broadcasting booth. Why?
I'm going to want to see him later. Thanks for the dope, Bill.
Well, it's no trouble at all. Drop in again, Blackie, any old time.
Thanks, Bill. I'll do that. So long. So, Ruley Carter was...
Hey, why don't you watch where you're going?
Well, if it isn't Inspector Faraday.
You, huh?
And if it isn't, I've got bad news for whoever you are because you look like the inspector.
Blackie, don't you remember I told you to stay in your apartment till I found out who killed Joe Ash?
Yes, I remember it, Faraday, but I also remember that it was a ball game today, and I can't resist a ball game any more than I can resist solving your cases for you.
Oh, I suppose you know who killed Joe Ash, huh?
Stay right here with me, Faraday, and I'll not only tell you who killed Joe Ash, I'll show you a racket that will simply kill you.
Your attention, please. Your attention, please. This is Bill Slater with the batting orders for today's game. For New York, Roswell, first
Maybe you should have given Sammy Saunders that cake before the game. Want me to take it?
I don't mind carrying it, Rolly. Besides, if it was left in the locker room, the players might have helped themselves.
You might have a point there. Oh, here we are. Certainly going to enjoy this game. Maybe you are, too, huh?
With everything worked out to absolute perfection? Oh, I should say so, darling.
Don't you want me to put that cake under the chair?
No, Rolly. I'll hold it in my lap. It'll be safer.
Maybe it'll be safer in my lap.
What?
Come on, Faraday.
I'm here.
Oh, Blackie, you again?
Yes, but for the last time, I think. I'll take that cake.
You'll take nothing.
Look out, Blackie. Carter has a gun.
Well, let him have something else.
Maybe this'll do.
Nice going, Faraday. That sock took the cake, and now, Miss Gray, I'll take this cake.
No, you don't. Let go of that.
Sorry. I'm awfully sorry. There we are. Now, let's see what kind of a cake this is.
Blackie, this is no time to look at a cake.
This isn't any time to look at a cake, Faraday. It's time to look into one. I told you I'd break this case for you, and I'll start by breaking this cake.
No, don't. Really, don't let him.
Let him try to stop me. 6 strawberries on top. That must mean 6 of something inside.
What do you mean, Blackie?
Maybe he doesn't know what he means, Copper.
I won't tell you. I'll show you after I break it open. There. Look what's inside the cake. 6 beautiful blue-white diamonds.
And what diamonds?
Check these, and I think you'll find they're stolen, Faraday. I've got an idea the cold icing on this cake covered some awfully hot ice.
Gosh, there's a sure mighty good cake that Miss Gray baked. Sure you don't want some of it, Blackie?
No, thanks, Sammy. Go ahead and enjoy yourself.
Oh, this is mighty good cake. You want a piece, Miss Wesley?
Not me. I've got to watch my figure.
Yeah, sure is something to watch, Miss Wesley. This is good cake.
Sammy, don't you understand? I found 6 stolen diamonds inside that cake.
Yeah, so I heard. Funny place for diamonds, ain't it?
Very good place for them when they're stolen, Sammy, and need to be taken to a fence.
What's anybody taking a cake to a fence for? All a fence is good for is to knock home runs over.
Now, Sammy, the kind of fence Blackie is talking about is a person who buys and sells stolen goods.
Oh, is that right? Well, I never heard of that kind of fence.
And I've never heard of a more perfect way to move stolen goods around the country than the one in which Carter was trying to use you.
Mr. Carter was trying to make me do something wrong? Why, I'll bat that guy to the scoreboard and tell him what
I'll say he was trying to use you, Sammy. And no one would have ever suspected you of working for him either. You see, a ball player is just about the only person who you can count on and being in a certain city at a certain time.
On certain days you play in St. Louis, and on certain days you play in Chicago. On other days you have to be in Boston and Philadelphia and Pittsburgh.
Well, I sure can hit home runs in Pittsburgh.
You can be met by someone buying Carter's stolen goods in Pittsburgh, too. And no one has to worry about whether or not you'll be there, because where the team goes, you go, and everybody has access to the entire season's schedule to know beforehand just where you'll be.
So, you see why Mr. Carter was using you to carry and deliver his stolen jewelry and those cakes, don't you?
Nope.
No? Well, he always knew where you'd be, and his fences always knew where to meet you, and since you were there because of a ball game, why, no one would ever suspect you were traveling for Mr. Carter, too.
Well, I wouldn't do anything for that, Mr. Carter. I was carrying those cakes for Miss Gray. She was mighty pretty. Mighty near as pretty as you, Miss Wesley.
Well.
Don't let good looks fool you, Sammy. Miss Gray was mixed up with a murderer, you know.
Yeah, I read something about Mr. Carter killing a Mr. Ash.
Well, Ash was killed because Carter formerly used him to take stolen jewelry out of the city, and Carter thought Ash was about to double-cross him.
Well, gosh. Sure am glad you found out all this, Blackie.
But Carter made one mistake. He tried to frame me. You know his box score? No hits, no runs, one error.
That's your old-time radio fix for this week. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. Be sure to subscribe to The Chronic Rift on iTunes or visit us frequently at chronicrift.com.
Hit it! Ding, a dink-a-doo, a dink-a-ding, a dink-a-doo. What a voice! What a voice! Simply means ink. A dink-a-doo, a dink-a-ding. Good night, folks. Signing off.
Attention, please. Attention. There's been a slight change in the teetotaler lineup. Catching, Bugs Bunny. Left field, Bugs Bunny. Right field, Bugs Bunny. Pitching, Bugs Bunny. Third base, Bugs Bunny. Center field, Bugs Bunny. First base, Bugs Bunny. Shortstop, Bugs Bunny. Second base, Bugs Bunny.